And here we go again. With me today is...
Some guy who killed Sobek last night, so I'm happy.
But yeah, so now we have to rescue our new friend, Edigio Troche.
Yes.
It's not going very well, but at least my friends are helping.
A good Samaritan in Roma. I thought they were a dying breed.
Senator Egidio Troche.
I don't owe you money too, do I?
I am looking for Cesare's banker.
Ha! Cesare Borgia. And you are?
A friend of the family.
Cesare has a lot of friends these days. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them.
I can pay.
Ma che meraviglia! He fights guards and he gives away money. Where have you been all my life?
We better get out of here.
I know a place.
On me.
Yes. More games need ragdolls.
Yes.
You're going to have to protect me, though. The guards
But
are
yes,
being
this can be
very
a
friendly.
pretty hard mission if you're going for the bonus objective, because you have to get Edigio Troche to a bunch of checkpoints and then to the last one to finish the mission. You cannot get an open conflict. Now, guys can fight with him, and that won't necessarily fail the objective, but it's just if you go into high profile, it will fail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
I know.
We bought a
this
whole
is our-
lot of money for absolutely nothing.
Cesare's plans for Romagna.
And this is our first
I wrote to
landmark
the
purchase.
ambassador of
Their
Venezia,
money sinks.
One of my
That's what they
letters
do.
must have been intercepted.
Just, you have too many florins kicking around, buy a landmark.
I think I had said this in some previous video or not, but there used to be like a Facebook game where you could have actually increased the amount of money
You
to
know
make.
what it's like to not
Unfortunately, that doesn't exist anymore, so you can only get like 16
I
florins
admit
per
I've been gambling,
landmark.
drinking,
Versus that costs 38,000. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think if once you buy all the landmarks, you get like 500 florins total.
Yeah. It's not particularly worth it.
But that tie-in Facebook thing went the way of the Demon Souls servers. Will go in a couple months. Will go very shortly.
Yes.
They will shut down the online stuff.
Yeah.
The Senate has
Nice job,
nothing to
Cod.
do these days.
Yeah, thank
the
you.
Borgia have taken all the power. You know what it's like to not
Horses.
having got so to do?
But yes, one thing you can do is you can tell him to stop, just like you can any group that's following you. And you can go ahead and kill dudes yourself. But remember, if you get into high profile, you will fail.
Right.
And guys hate him, and they will, if they see him, they will automatically aggro on him.
Yeah.
It is not safe here. We must keep moving.
Thankfully, you can use your assassins to kill people. You can use aerostorms to kill people. It's fairly flexible in that regard. You just can't get caught.
About real issues,
Yes.
like unlawful cruelty.
But as long as you
and
leave it to the
children.
interns, you'll be
Now we
fine.
write up legislation on the appropriate
Oh, that was uncalled for. Did you see him shove that man?
Raise money for
Yes.
false causes to pay back your gambling debts.
I'm financially able to do so. You ever look at the grave and think this is the most
I like this guy. He's
thing I
funny.
will ever do?
Yes.
You don't own this place. Relax.
And of course, this kind of runs into some of the issues that you have in Rome, where there's a lot of like multi-level pathways that are not totally interconnected, and it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where stuff is.
Yeah, that was the big trouble I was running into a bunch, because I will say there's probably a lot of different ways you could finish this mission in terms of paths you can go, but the city is pretty labyrinthine when you're exploring it from the ground level, like here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Basically the best advice is dodge stationary groups as much as possible. Just wait until mobile groups pass out of range to continue on. But yeah, there's all sorts of little elevation changes that are dead ends and tight little passages you have to go through. It's when you play this mission, you really start realizing this is kind of a hard city to get around in, on foot at least.
Yeah. It's easy if you can, roof hop, because Even if snipers aren't generally densely packed in this game,
No.
and I mean it isn't really until like Revelations where it's really a problem. I mean, in this game they're just annoying.
Yeah, they're just something to be swatted away when they do show up.
Yeah, they progressively get worse as the Ezio games goes on, especially because by the time you get to Revelations, they're literally actual snipers with actual muskets.
Yeah.
And they will actually snipe at you with great accuracy from far away. As opposed to this game where they're mostly crossbow dudes and they're not as bad.
Yeah. They just don't do very much damage is the thing, but in Revelations when all the guards have guns, they actually can do quite a bit of damage really fast.
There are a lot of patrols going through this level.
It's almost like we're on a mission or something, and they know that.
Right. I don't think a Jicho can social blend, so you're not allowed to do that.
And he cannot know.
Cannot stop here. Too many guards.
Hi guys.
Yay.
And just like with all the other NPCs in this series, Adagio actually does have a little short sword he has, but naturally you're not going to want to rely on that because it takes forever for anything to happen with the AI in these games.
Yeah.
Just hire a mercenary group and see how fast they can kill 4 guys as opposed to you.
They're generally pretty decent about it if they can get 4 guys to 1, but anything other
Yeah,
than that.
but I know, but you're comparing them to Ezio and his assassins who could 4 guys is nothing.
Yes. Yeah. It's nothing compared to Bayek either, but that's another story.
Yes.
One.
But once you reach this area, you're basically home free, except we've got another stationary group.
Yeah.
So you can either call in your assassin friends, or you can leave him here, which is a bit more dangerous, or you can use the courtesans, like what I'm going to do. Since do we really have to kill everybody we see?
Considering that you've got the courtesans up to the point where they will start spitting poison and killing everybody when they distract them, yes.
But yes, this is Adagio, not social blending.
What folly is this?
Oh yeah, and it's been a while since I mentioned it, but when you kill someone in Eagle Vision, or you kill someone and then really turn on Eagle Vision really fast, for some reason Ezio's left hand glows red. I have no idea why that is. I don't know if it was in the original, but I think I would have remembered if it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of why I don't like courtesans, because they'll kind of automatically break off from you when there's guys to distract. And I'm never like exactly sure what will make the guards go on alert again. It's just kind of one of those weird things that doesn't make me like to rely on the courtesans too much. Thieves are
I should never have sent them to the ambassador. Now Cesare will murder me. Benvenuto to the home of my brother Francesco. Thank God he's not here. We haven't talked since he found out about the letters. What did you want again?
Cesare's banker.
Right. I need to arrive with the money. Problem is, there is no money.
You are meeting the banker. Where?
I never know until I'm there. I go to one of 3 places. Then his friends take me to him.
I will bring you all the money you owe.
Sul serio? You need to stop this. You might actually give me hope.
Shop Empire in the background here.
3,000 florins, just 3,000 florins to start.
That's like 2 minutes of Florin generation.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, large sections of the map are still unavailable to us. Like, almost all of Campania is still behind the white walls. Same, I want to say maybe 50% of Antico is still off limits. It's still a pretty large chunk of the map.
There's only like 2 or 3 districts in Antico. They're all kind of just gigantic anyway.
Yeah.
Save money. You've got to go pay this guy. I know you only have 6 times the amount of money he needs.
I will be very proud and say I never bought any of these treasure maps to find out where collectibles were. I found every single one of them on my own.
And I will say that I don't care. I save time. Because after getting about 60, 80, 90% of each, I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Although, this game did introduce the feature of tagging collectibles in Eagle Vision.
Yes. Something that you can't actually do in... Well, you can and you can't do in Origins.
Ah.
There's less collectibles, much less, and you can kind of tag individual things, but you can't. Well, you can tag them, but they don't permanently get marked on the map. Just when you're in the vicinity of it. So
I see.
it's like, oh hey, you go look through the eagle, and it says, oh hey, there's a chest over there. You go get the chest, or you can go back later and have to find it again.
You know,
It's not the worst system in the world.
I see. I actually kind of like this color. It's got a nice balance to it, I want to say.
Yeah.
Although I will say the regular assassin white is definitely one of the better outfits in this game. It's not to say any of the others are particularly bad. It's just some of them become bleh, and I don't really use them. I'm not really like huge on reddish outfits, red and black outfits. Like, they can look really nice in some combinations, but in this game, there's just something about them that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I think there's really only like one black outfit I really like in this, one or two. This is more like a nice olive greenish than anything.
Generally, in this game, the more colorful the outfit, the more I like it. But yeah, there's still a lot of... call me a coward, but I really don't like to send assassins on anything less than like 90% chance of success. And even then, 90% is just a little too risky for me, because I want to level up these dudes.
Yeah. I think the only thing I ever really did with these guys was like color-coded a lot of them for a while. Well, mainly I just wanted to have an entire team of Power Rangers, but...
Right. I don't know, I don't remember if we mentioned it, but might as well now. There are two kinds of missions. They're not really distinct, but there's ones that are like part of a story, and they have more pronounced stars on them.
Yes.
Like, you'll get stuff about Louis the 12th or Mary, whichever of England, and many of them will be part of a sequence of missions that when you finish one, you'll unlock the next until the end of the little storyline.
Yeah, at random times they kind of like unlock for some reason.
Yeah. But once you finish them, they go away, but at some point, don't ask me which, they do come back. I don't know what makes them come back, but...
I cannot believe you would just do this.
There is a condition.
I knew it.
Keep an eye on the politics of the city. I want you to report back to Maria and Rosa and Fiore about targets who are helping the Borgia.
And what? You'll make them disappear? The pezzo di merda may hate me, but he's still family. Va bene, we go.
I will follow you to the banker.
That because in Resident Evil 4, the Ganados say shit occasionally.
Yay, it's time for a tailing mission.
Rooftop
Guess what Assassin's
tailing.
Creed Origin got rid of?
No more tailing?
No more tailing missions, just murder.
Wow.
Occasionally missions where you follow somebody as you talk with them, but that's not really tailing. That's just...
Yeah. Glorified cutscene, we'll say.
Yes. Now they decided that, hey, let's talk more murder. Can't say it's a bad thing. You know, probably. I don't want to talk too much about Origins, but
Yeah,
yes.
I gotta save something for myself when I eventually pick it up.
Egidio, it seems you are ready to die like a gentleman.
I have the money.
Oh, that's different then. The banker will be pleased. You came alone?
Do you see anyone else here?
Follow me, furbacchione.
So in typical gameplay, if someone spots you and you kill them really fast without anybody else seeing, the alert goes away.
So,
But it doesn't matter because if you go into high profile, you fail the mission.
generous.
What did you say?
It's really start to hear when in this kind of mission when you appreciate what a good investment the crossbow is.
yes, the crossbow is arguably one of the most broken things in this game, and it's sad that I was gonna say, does it really make any appearance? I mean, functionally, the blowgun kind of replaces it in 3 and
Black
4
Flag.
and
Yeah.
Unity, and actually, does it have it in Unity? I think it happens in Unity anyway. But basically, every game after like Brotherhood and Revelations, the crossbow becomes the blowgun.
Yeah.
But it's still and arguably it becomes better because, well, it becomes better and worse. You don't get instant kill darts, but you get status darts,
Yes.
which are even better in a lot of ways. But still, the silent projectile weapon is probably the best with good range. Knives are decent, but they just don't have a lot of range, and you can only carry limited amounts.
Yes, but they still feel more assassin-ish than crossbows. Although in full disclosure, the original trailer for the first Assassin's Creed, Altair, did have a crossbow on his back, but that is not in the game anywhere.
And absolutely nothing happens because this is a fucking tailing mission.
Yes. Once you get past the conversation, that's basically all you need to know.
So they've
The
made their way
conversations
over
are
to
the interesting bit. Parthenon.
Yes, they made their own selves over to the Parthenon.
Or no, the Pantheon, I'm sorry. Parthenon is in Athens.
Correct. I was testing you.
Ah.
Egidio brought the money.
Well. The banker has a special evening planned. I will be delivering your payment. Give it here. Hold him until I get back.
I better not lose sight of the money.
Gee.
You shouldn't
Yes.
be.
But yes, obviously, since going through the front door is a non-starter, because this is still, if you get spotted, you failed, parameters. We have to go in through the top, and going in through the top of the Pantheon is one of the game's more visually impressive moments.
Yes. It's impressive, and it's also kind of a pain in the ass to figure out exactly where you gotta go.
Yeah, and
Which is the sad thing.
it's also one of the very few areas in the game that it's pretty easy how you get in from the top, but it's not so easy to climb it from the bottom to the top. One of the
Yeah.
very few areas in the game where that's true.
Of course, if you had the jump glove by now, this might be a little bit better, but
Yes.
the jump climb glove is always a nice little, makes everything a little bit easier, but
Yeah.
it's still a gigantic effing pain in the ass.
Yeah, this is going around the back here is, the Pantheon is a huge structure, but there's not actually very many ways to climb it.
There's really just like one, and it's to go around the back and then make your way around
Yes.
on top of everything else.
But how else would we appreciate the majesty of this building?
Dramatic zoom out as we start climbing upwards. Which is something that Origins does every time you climb a really, really tall thing. By the way, Origins is in Egypt, so you can totally climb pyramids.
And it's true that it is in the trailers.
And then slide down them like a dumbass. So, Now, I don't know if that gate is broken only for this mission or if it's for every mission. Sometimes the game will do that.
Yeah. I actually am not sure. We did go to the top of the Pantheon in a previous video, but I don't think we went to the circular part at the very top.
Alright. And you couldn't climb down, or climb up, I remember.
Yeah, I was really looking for a way to climb up through the building because I was trying to get on top of it, but I don't think that's a thing you can actually do.
Yeah. Sometimes what this game will do, and not everybody notices it, is that some...
Everything going well in there?
We have to go, Luigi, or we'll be late.
The count is complete. Va bene. Kill him.
No.
Lucky you. Luigi says he gets to live. Lead the way, boss.
You get into the... At a certain point in the story, the Castello will open up. We basically can't do anything there at this point in the game. But normally the way you go in is through the front door. But in the mission we already did, there's a piece of fencing broken. And that's how you get in. But we can't get into the Castello at all right now.
Yeah. So now this is a fun kind of mission. Basically, you need to get to the banker, and you need to pretend that you know exactly where you're going.
Even if you're running around like a dumbass and have no idea what you're doing.
If you don't, the guys will say, "Why are you going this way?" or something, and you'll have to obviously try a different path.
Yes.
The actual path that they're kind of scripted to take is kind of weird. As long as you know where you're going, you probably make this pretty okay. As long as you also remember to run.
Yeah, because we are on a time limit. Remember?
Yes. The first couple times I did this, I didn't run and I failed the bonus objective.
Now we are making good time.
I did it because I didn't realize you could jog while carrying the box.
But yes, generally our objective is to move in the southwesterly direction because that's where the big party is.
We are nearly there.
Yes, it's in the, well, we've been there. It's the giant set of ruins that are to the southwest southwest of Rome / and the south of Tiber Island.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
It's very distinctive because it's the only like really prominent set of ruins in Centro. I mean, you got like some brick slum area. That's not really the Roman ruins that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We are on track.
We are on track, they say.
Yes. And I'd have to say one last thing about Origins is that it's set, obviously just before.
Good time.
It's actually set before BC.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting if they do a second game that's set in Rome around the same time, because people feel that there's enough Zaz in this game to actually get a bunch of sequels out of it, which is something the series realized.
Hand me the chest, Luigi. I will bring it to the banker.
You may enter.
We can't go in.
You have to patrol by order of Cesare.
Porca puttana.
Cesare? Is here?
Luigi has been killed. We discovered his body at the Pantheon.
Luigi? We just let him in.
Right.
Maybe not, I think it would be hilarious if you get something like you get a game in Rome, and then they complete a trilogy of Assassin's Creed Origins, with the third game being in Jerusalem in year 0.
That would actually be pretty neat.
It'd be very nice because it also kind of gets your little arc going backwards of Assassin's Creed 2 and then Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah.
And thematically, it would be weird, and I would love to see exactly what the fuck people would do if you actually had Jesus fucking Christ in a video game as baby Jesus.
Well, they've already had Jesus Christ in a video game. Don't you know your Bible games on the NES? Let's say Jesus Christ in a real video game. I mean, I think the Bible games were like unlicensed. Like Nintendo didn't approve of their release. Not like these days when to release a game on a console you have to get the developers or the console owner's permission to do it.
No, and those days you had to do that too, but there were ways around it.
Oh yeah, that same company, Wisdom Tree, they also had a trick on the... Nintendo put like locking features on the SNES to prevent pirated games from playing on it.
There were hardware. I mean, it's just not a locking feature. There was an actual chip on the board that you had to bypass on a specific Nintendo only knows the way in order to actually play the games properly. And I mean, the people reverse engineered it, obviously, but
yeah, basically the way they found was that if you insert a real cartridge like Super Mario World or Super Metroid or something, and then put the pirated game on top of that, it would fool a chip and you could play whatever crap you wanted.
Yeah, or you can also just can't remember if they did it for that. I know they did it for other games where you can kind of just put your own if you actually put a substitute chip in there, it's just very hard, and there are ways to do it.
But I don't think that's really a thing on newer consoles. Like I have never heard of a pirated PS3 or Xbox game.
No, you can't do that. This happened because cartridges were literally circuit cards in a box, and the manufacturers did not manufacture the circuit cards. Nintendo manufactured the circuit cards, and they manufactured them with what they had to do. So everything had to go through Nintendo, who went to the manufacturers, who then put out the cards. It's different because today, with everything either being digital or on disc media, you have to go through different. You can't use a on-chip scheme. You have to go through different things, and generally, a lot of that is.
Money for you, banker.
I will take that. And that. You are dismissed.
Where did I put my crime purse?
Onoretti.
Cesare is about to speak in the main room, Eccellenza.
Come.
Fairly wrong or ignore it because God knows that thread never gets an answer.
I'm remembering the Bible games the Angry Video Game Nerd did, and that's most of my information on the subject. But this mission, it's pretty elaborate. This is a incident that was reported to have happened while Rodrigo Borgia was Pope. I want to say the extent of it was probably exaggerated because the Borgia did have a lot of political enemies who just believed them to be Satan on Earth and exaggerated any negative bad thing about them to ridiculous degrees. But here it doesn't look that bad. I mean, you got a lot of people in loincloths. Seems like a pretty casual atmosphere, but there's nothing like seriously debaucherous going on here. Even though this game's portrayal of the Borgia is not very sympathetic. But this is one of the harder missions, I think, to stealth through because this entire area is a red zone. You have to stay within a certain area of the map to finish it, and courtesans are not the most reliable cover in the game.
Yes, and in fact, if you upgrade courtesans too much by doing their missions, this actually gets really hard because they'll start killing people.
Yes. And
you cannot turn this ability off, and unfortunately this just really makes it hard because you really just want them to distract people, because if you kill somebody and everything goes panicky...
Yeah, this is one of the missions you really want to avoid killing anybody you don't have to. Because then everything just gets all fucked up.
So this is Juan Borgia. He was a cousin or some sort of Rodrigo, and he really fucking loves a deer skull or something. It's odd. Super.
Our reliable friend, the hay bale.
What better way to celebrate my victories than to join in the Brotherhood of Man? We will be here once more, celebrating a united Italia. And then the feasting will last for 40 days and 40 nights. Cominciamo ora!
We did not agree to conquer Italia.
If your brilliant Captain General says we can do it, why not rejoice and let it happen?
You risk upsetting the delicate balance of control we have worked so hard to tighten.
I appreciate all that you have done for me, but I have the army, so I am making the decisions. Don't look so good. Enjoy yourself.
One. Bench assassinations typically aren't very hard because usually your target will patrol around a certain perimeter and they'll inevitably pass by a bench and then you just poke them while they do.
Yes.
And Juan is no exception to this rule.
Now, it was always really sad because, as I said, this mission gets really hard if courtesans can kill people. I had portions of this where the courtesans killed a guard here. As I was trying to get over to the other side, then everybody kind of spooked, panicked, and ran away, including Juan, and he did not go back to... Well, he eventually went back to his patrol path, but unfortunately all the people who I had to blend in with left, including the people on the bench, so he saw me immediately and I couldn't even kill him. But yeah, now this mission is essentially over. We just gotta wait for this fucker to get back over here.
Yep.
Is that a ram in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Nice timing, too.
The things I have felt, seen, and tasted, I do not regret a moment of it.
The men of power must be contemptuous of delicacies.
But I gave the people what they wanted.
And now you pay for it. Il piacere immeritato si consuma da sé. Requiescat in pace.
Is there anybody in 2? I thought he killed cousins in 2.
Cousins of the Borgia? I don't think they had any.
That's a look. I thought somebody in there was technically that.
But yeah, it's really easy to escape from that area because it's really high up. You just need to jump because the bench is so close to the edge.
And guards suck at sudden vertical changes.
They're gonna take even if they stay completely aggro on me for the rest. It would take them like 5 minutes to get over here.
Yeah, their path hiding sucks.
But now we've taken care of the money.
Yay! And we decorate our hideout a little.
And returning back into the night. And by returning into the night, I mean getting into this hay bale.
Alright. That is